I hope you're good. So, I want to talk about bitterness. Yes, bitterness. We've all felt bitter at some point in time. I think most newborns are bitter. Just that cry is always so bitter, right? Because the womb is so comfortable, and out here, it's not very comfortable. Bitterness is normal, okay? Bitterness is a part of life, bitterness is a part of you. So I'm not going to be talking about bitterness as if I'm talking about some academic topic. I'm going to be talking about bitterness as something that both you and I experience. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about how to consciously experience your bitterness. Anything can make you bitter. Anything. There's no set list of what is and isn't allowed to make you bitter. You can be bitter because of your own jealousy. You can be bitter because something enraging happened, something unfair happened, something tragic happened, something unjust happened. You can be bitter at anything. You can be bitter at the mundaneness of life, the emptiness of life. You can be bitter at the void. You can be bitter at happiness and seeing other people be happy, which, yes, there's envy there, but there's also bitterness there. We've all experienced that old bitter person who doesn't like to see people overly excited about life. And when you see bitterness as something to avoid, you don't look at the bitterness within yourself. And bitterness is such a powerful tonic for your soul. Bitterness is not something you need to get rid of. It will go away on its own once it's done what it's there to do, which is to heal you. In nature, what I've learned as a sangoma so far is that the ugliest medicine is the most potent healer. Some of the most potent things that I've experienced and seen others experience in terms of healing medicinally is bitter. It's ugly. It's not nice. It is bloody bitter, not just like a mild bitterness. And obviously, when you reduce it in allopathic medicine, it then takes the bitterness away from that. But the original compound of that thing is very bitter and it's very healing. Nature designed the bitter things to heal us. And the same thing is true for your soul. Your bitterness is there to heal you because your bitterness is showing you the things that are not aligned within yourself. And this is not to say that you are wrong because of this misalignment. You're not wrong because of this misalignment. You're human. So when the newborn is being born and they let out that bitter cry, it tells us that this child is alive. When that child doesn't let out that bitter cry, we should be worried about them. That's a sign to worry. So, bitterness in that child's cry is because there's such an extreme discomfort from the familiarity and the comfort of the womb that to come into this dry place and this unfamiliar place, of course, it's going to cause bitterness. But then that's how we know that the child then needs to be comforted, to be soothed, to be loved, to be nurtured, to be cared for. Then the crying stops. Then the connection begins. It's the same thing with the bitterness in your soul, in that where it exists, it's telling you that that's where you need comfort, love, soothing, compassion, empathy, and connection. The bitter parts of you are very disconnected from other people, and you feel the right to be bitter. And I'm sure you are, whether you're right or wrong. For example, if you're jealous of someone and you're bitter about that, you don't have the right to be bitter, but you are. So you have the right to your bitterness, is what I mean. No one can say you are wrong for being bitter because it's yours. You are the one who needs to swallow that pill. But if you want that pill to heal you, I recommend being consciously bitter. Don't let bitterness sit in your shadow. Rather, have a conscious connection with your bitterness. Let your bitterness be in your light, meaning be conscious of your bitter aspects, your bitter self, the bitter aspects of you. Let them be something that you are conscious of, and allow yourself to feel those emotions and to be soothed there, to be loved there, to be comforted there. You don't need someone to validate your bitterness. That oftentimes keeps you bitter. It doesn't make you feel better, you know? So, someone corroborating your jealousy and you are both bitter there, you just become more bitter as a result of that congregation, or as a result of you congregating with that person. But when you connect with your bitterness and you allow yourself to feel it, but you feel it from a conscious state of giving yourself love in those places, soothing in those places, comfort in those places, and not trying to make yourself not be bitter. Just let it be. When you are ready to not be bitter, the bitterness will be released. Then there'll be the love that you've nurtured within that space, within yourself, like the newborn. When they've been comforted, they've been soothed, they've been fed, they then become the gorgeous baby that we all love to see. But that baby was bitter not so long ago. And that bitterness was a sign of their health, the sign of life. So the reason you're bitter is because you're alive and you're human. It's not because you're a bad person. You don't need to be ashamed of this quality within you. And obviously, the older you are, the more you may have to be bitter about, but that doesn't invalidate the bitterness that some children have, because bitterness is not weighed on a scale to see whether you should or shouldn't be. You feel it. And when you feel it, you just do. Whether someone agrees that you should or not, you do. So, how do you integrate bitterness? You become conscious of the parts of you that are bitter. You become truthful with yourself about them. So, don't need to create a narrative of yourself as being right. Just be truthful. Even if you're wrong and you're bitter, be truthful about it. And then love those parts of yourself that are actually bitter. Soothe them, loving them in the sense of you hear them, you allow the truth of them to be told by you to yourself, you soothe them through comforting compassion that you give to those parts of yourself. So you don't condemn yourself for your bitterness, you have compassion for those bitter parts of yourself. And then you just let it be. Allow yourself to be consciously bitter.